Hey community, how are you? Janine Macklin here, the visionary behind the brand Spirit and Riches. I am your guide and wealth catalyst. And I wanted to ask you today, have you found a way to solve your problems? It's just that simple. It could be in your relationship, it could be financially, it could be around your health, it could be at work. But have you found and developed a consistent way to solve your problems? Well, I want to give you 3 steps today on making that shift with greater grace and ease. So I always lean on Albert Einstein because one of the things he tells us is that when we're looking to solve a problem, that we can't do it at the same level that it was created. And I don't know if you really understand what that means. So take a moment right now and look at something in your life where you feel like there's a problem, or you feel like you're having a challenge, or you want a different result to show up in your life. It could be you want a different interaction in your relationship, or in your marriage, or in a friendship, or with a colleague at work. It could be around forgiveness. It could be around the relationship you have with money, or that you don't have with money. So oftentimes, when we get to what we call a problem, our energy, if we had to say just 1 to 10, let's keep it simple, 1 being the lowest and 10 being the highest, we are usually at about a 2. We have worried about it. We've tried to figure it out. We've tried to plan and scheme. With money, sometimes you try to rob Peter to pay Paul. You've tried it all. You've tried with the relationship. You've talked to friends. You've talked to other guys, other women, other married couples, other single, and you have frustrated yourself. You've ran out of options. You're just past it. You want it over with. So let's say that energy is probably going to be about a 1 or 2 as far as your vibration, as far as your frequency. Because you're going to be annoyed. I would suspect you're going to feel disappointed. You may feel let down. You're going to start questioning yourself. What did you do? What you should have done or what you could have done. So that's where you are. So what he's saying to us is when we want to solve the problem, the longer we stay in that 1 or 2 vibration, we're going to keep giving and receiving more of that 1 or 2 vibration and energy, those kind of experiences. So in order to solve the problem, it requires that we shift our focus. We really have to look almost in another direction in our focus and our thinking to solve the problem. The first thing that I would give you is to get really clear on what is the problem. What is it? Just be able to say the problem is he doesn't this, this, and this. So the problem is my supervisor does this, this, and this. So the problem is I do this, this, and this. Okay, so we're clear about that. And let's look at where that is on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being I'm done, it's over with, and 10 being I got this. So when we're looking at solving it, first we got to say what's the problem. The next thing I want you to look at is how do you want it to be? And don't give me that, well, I just want him to do what I want him to do. I want it my way. Life, relationships are not about my way or your way. It's really about us growing. It's about us evolving. It's about us unfolding, which many of us don't want to do. So, but that's still where we are. How do you want it to be? If it's in your relationship, how would you like the communication to be? If it's, sorry about that, if it's in a relationship at work with a supervisor, if it's clients that you're working with, if you have your own company and you're having to deal with a lot of independent contractors, how do you want it to be? Here's the thing I want you to decide. How do you want it to feel? And what do you want to say about it? So much of what we're doing when we're looking at our problems is just focusing on the problem, what we don't want, how we want to feel better, how we want to get out of it. But I want you to take all of that energy and shift it to say, how do you want life to be? How do you want the interaction to be? How do you want this personal communication to be? How do you want your relationship to be? How is it you want things to be, the interaction to be with you and a coworker, or you and one of your staff, or your independent contractor if you have your own business, or even in your relationship, whether it's friendships, whether it's an intimate relationship, how do you want it to be? When we begin to look at that, that shifts our energy already from the 1 or 2, because now we become at least hopeful that, hey, maybe we can make this happen. Maybe I can be a part of this change happening. So now our energy gets to move to maybe about a 4 or 5. Now around 4 or 5, you may start to get a little pissed off. It's like, okay, I'm ready to do this. I want to do this. I'm okay with you being pissed off because anger, there's many things that come from our anger that's positive. So that anger will allow you to stay with yourself, though. Don't call anyone or pick up the phone to anyone, and look at, okay, what are you angry about? How can you move yourself closer to the end result that you want? I know, huh? You thought I was going to put it on them. No, baby boy or baby girl. We have to look at what we are going to do so that we shift ourselves and our energy out of that 1 or 2 and that 4 or 5. I want you to move yourself up to being like a 7 or 8 just on your own. So what can you do? What one action can you take? One thing can you say? One thing you can do that will move you closer toward the end result that you want? Because as much as I know you want them to change and you want them to do it first, in order for us to have the type of relationships and the interactions that we desire, it's on us to move ourselves there and then let everybody else catch up with us. So now we've moved you from 4 and 5 to 7 or 8. What kind of communication do you want with him or her? What kind of interaction do you want in your own company with your team of independent contractors that work with you? Or what is it that you want on your job? How do you want that to be? And what can you do yourself to start moving you toward that, which will ultimately pull them along with you as well? Tell me what you think. Do it, try it, see how it works, and let me know if it works for you. It works for me. We cannot solve problems at the same level, the energy or frequency that we created them. We have to shift our energy first for it to then shift the overall interaction. I'm Janine Macklin, Transformational Wealth Guide and Catalyst.